Hey everybody, it's Dr. Reiser. If you like what you see in our videos, make sure you click subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos about functional medicine, nutrition, and tips on how to reclaim your health the easy way with Functional Health Center of the Carolinas.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Reiser. Another Whiteboard Wednesday. It has been a while, but bear with me today because we have some awesome information. In particular, we're going to be talking about low thyroid, and we see tons of videos about low thyroid, especially on our page. But we're going to talk today about those of you that are on thyroid medication already. You've identified that you have a low thyroid problem, but you still have low thyroid symptoms. Why is that? Why am I still feeling tired? I can't lose weight. My hair is thinning. I have cold hands and cold feet. All these thyroid symptoms. Why is it still occurring even though I'm on 50, 75, 100 micrograms of Synthroid or Levothyroxin? It's an all too common complaint, especially through our front door, because this is one of the biggest things that functional medicine treats, low thyroid. So obviously, if you've watched our videos before, the number one thing that comes to mind is, well, duh, Dr. Reiser, Hashimoto's disease. It's an autoimmune disease that not many people know they have, and that's why 9 out of 10 people will experience low thyroid issues even if they're on medication. Yes, you are correct. However, I'm going to go and dive a little bit deeper into thyroid function, thyroid hormone function, how it gets made, and the two biggest things I want to talk about today are the underlying problems, the two underlying problems for why patients still experience low thyroid symptoms even on Synthroid. So let's get into it a little bit, and like I said, in order for us to understand this, we really need to understand what is going on with the thyroid. If we're taking Synthroid, that means we're taking synthetic T4. Hopefully your doctor has told you that or explained what you're taking when you're taking Synthroid or your Levothyroxin. So to my side here, we can see we have the thyroid gland, and the thyroid gland is going to be right here, as we all know, especially if you've seen my videos before. We know where it is anatomically. It is stimulated by the pituitary gland, and that makes T4 production from the thyroid gland. Now T4, the main job of T4 is to go and get converted into T3, and as we can see at the bottom here, we have our T3, which is your reverse T3, and then we have T3, your active form of the hormone. So when you look at this diagram, we obviously understand that there's a need to produce T4, there's a need to produce T3, and there's going to be various things that are going to help with that. The main thing that I always want to tell people, because they always talk to me when they have low thyroid, they go, well, what can I do to make my thyroid function better? The problem with that statement is the majority of the time, the thyroid's okay. The thyroid is producing enough T4. You're getting T4 from the Synthroid, so you're kind of joining those two together to do enough to help the thyroid out. The problem is the bottom portion here. What's happening with the T3? T3 is what's going out and doing the job of the thyroid, controlling metabolism, giving you energy, making your gut move so you're not constipated. That's the one we need to focus on. And if you know what I just said about Synthroid, you're probably going, well, why don't they put T3 in the Synthroid? Well, it's tough. It's tough to regulate the amount of T3 you're inputting in your body, especially prescription medication. It's not to say that it's not non-existent, because there are T3 medications that you can take, but the majority of doctors are going to write your script for Synthroid first and foremost. So what we can do then is figure out how to make you get the best bang for your buck with the Synthroid. So as you can see here, for T4 production, you need vitamins and minerals, zinc, selenium, vitamin B2, C, tyrosine as far as an amino acid, and then the big guy, iodine. We always hear about this as far as producing your T4. I'm not concerned with that. What I'm most concerned is, how can we get T4 to turn into T3? T3 is going to be made from specifically or helped made by selenium and zinc. Those are the two big ones. So conversion of your T4 to your T3 is the biggest deal. Don't ignore reverse T3. There's a great video by Elle Russ that she posted up, and we linked to in our story about reverse T3 and how that's one thing you definitely want to have run in your lab work, because it is made simultaneously with T3 from your T4. And a lot of people, whether it's through stress, cortisol issues, all these different things as far as gut health, you can produce too much reverse T3 and not enough T3. So get that checked out, but we're not going to address that in this video today. So conversion is key, guys. Conversion is key. How can we convert T4 to T3? How can we convert that T4 from our Synthroid that we're taking more efficiently into T3 so that our body can function? because like I said, the key here is not the T4, the key is your T3 hormone. So selenium, like we said, helps convert. Here's where you get it. Brazil nuts have a ton of selenium. I've had patients where they just added Brazil nuts into their diet and it helped out tremendously with their low thyroid symptoms. I would absolutely add this into your diet every single day if you're a low thyroid patient. Eggs and meat are other areas you're going to get selenium. And then your zinc, one of the highest amounts of zinc found on earth are in oysters. I know, I love oysters. Not a lot of my patients do, but that's where you can get a really good boost in zinc. Poultry and then other seeds and nuts as well will have zinc in there. So conversion's key. That's what we want to do, is convert. So where's the conversion happening? That is in your liver and your gut. So yes, not the thyroid. Your thyroid is going to push that T4 and it's going to get to the liver and the gut, and that's where the conversion happens. So when we look at the human body, your thyroid up here, we're producing that T4. T4 is going to go all the way down into the liver, then we're going to go in the GI tract, and sure enough, this is where we start to produce our T3, and T3 goes out, and that's what controls thyroid symptoms. All right, so make sure you're measuring your T3 as well. I've said this in 1,000 other videos. Free T3, check it out. I like to see it at least 3.5. Get it over 3.5, up around the 4, and I guarantee if you can do that, you will feel amazing. Your thyroid symptoms will go away. You'll get the weight to come off. So if we have to support the liver and the gut, that's the two biggies to get this stuff rolling, to get T4 to T3. How do we do that? Lactobacillus, okay? So if you're gonna get a probiotic, and I know everybody says, are probiotics good for you? They come in the office, I'm taking a probiotic, and then I'll say, okay, that's great. What strains are you taking? No idea. So you wanna get lactobacillus because in multiple studies, lactobacillus has been shown to improve thyroid function. So that's one genus that you wanna make sure you get into your probiotic. Proper bile acid production is a very important thing. And there's a lot of people running around without gallbladders, and what's happening is you're getting a less concentrated bile produced and put into your gut. The gallbladder's job is to concentrate your bile so you can break down fats. Well, bile production as it leaks into the intestine actually helps turn on some gut function or some bacterial function that helps convert your T4 into your T3. So again, there you go, combination of liver, gallbladder, and the intestines working on your thyroid symptomology. Now, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. With your gallbladder, by the way, if you have problems with bile production, what you can do is take something bitter after your meal or even before your meal. What we will do sometimes as an intervention is give you actual bitters to take right before you eat to stimulate that bile. Or you can have a little espresso after your meal. That actually is something bitter that will help stimulate bile production so you can help conversion. So try those two things. B12 and glutathione, obviously we've been over these two things 1,000 times. They help your liver function. B12 and glutathione are your master detoxifiers, and if your liver is converting T4 to T3, I mean 60% of your conversion happens in your liver. Grab those two things and make sure they're in your supplement regimen. LPS. LPS is something that you want to have tested if you are a person with thyroid disorder and you have gut problems. Lipopolysaccharide. This is something that's inside the wall of bacteria, and if you have leaky gut and that gets into your bloodstream, it will cause issues with conversion from T4 to T3, and it actually decreases the sensitivity of your cells to latch onto T3 and use it. So this is a big time one, and this is why several studies are now pointing to leaky gut as a main driver of disease in people with thyroid disorders. So bacterial dysbiosis is something that you need to watch out for. Get yourself a stool test and feed your good bacteria. So eat fermentable fibers. You have sweet potatoes and plantains are going to be the two biggest ones that I'll input in somebody's diet to get this going, but basically short chain fatty acids to build your good bacteria, keep bad bacteria away, because if you have a lot of this bad bacteria, it can break down the intestinal wall, cause leaky gut, which will cause food sensitivities, and then you can have this LPS leaking into your system, and there goes the thyroid. Thyroid symptoms start to increase, and all of your health starts to decrease. So it is a lot more, guys, than just monitoring the thyroid and your TSH, which is what happens every time you go to your doctor. TSH looks good. Hopefully you feel good. Synthroid is not going to be changed. You've got to analyze all these areas of the body. So the big one, get your gut tested, get a stool analysis, see if there's issues with the intestinal wall, if there's issues with your digestive enzymes, your bile acid production, if there's issues with bacteria and dysbiosis. Over 54%, and as they shown in the study, of people with thyroid problems had gut dysbiosis. Over half. And so this is the big driver of this disease, or is the theory is this is the big driver of the disease. So get gut tested, stool analysis, very simple. We run them on almost every single patient in practice, and that might hold the key to your thyroid functioning better, and more specifically, you utilizing your Synthroid or Levothyroxin to its full potential, turning that T4 into T3. If you guys have any questions about the thyroid or thyroid conversion or gut test, DM us. We'd be happy to answer any other questions, because this is such a hot topic, and it's there's a ton of patients out there in the United States, especially that are having problems while still on medication like Synthroid or Levothyroxin. This is our bread and butter at the clinic. So if you want to come here, make sure you are bringing your lab work that you've had previously, and you're ready and raring to go, because as soon as we find out that you have gut dysbiosis, liver problems, and those types of things, we will get working on it and getting you feeling better and getting these thyroid symptoms gone. Look forward to another Whiteboard Wednesday, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. We have a story up, or we periodically put it up so you guys can input some ideas. So thank you to the patient that recommended we go over conversion, because that was a major problem for her while still on medication. So if you guys have any ideas or any topics you want me to go over, let us know, DM us or email us. Have a great week, everybody.